What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Hard as a Mother, and I am your hostess with the mostest, Jizzy. And here today is my co-host, Harvey.
Woo, woo, woo. We're literally back here again. Like, I just feel like we just did this yesterday.
I know. It's going by so fast.
It's
I have no concept of time anymore because of COVID.
Wait, because of COVID?
Well, yeah, because ever since I've been working from home, it's like, what day is it? What year is it?
Wait.
I don't know. I'm all over the place, okay?
That's okay. I am too. So we're about to go on vacation.
Yes.
Like, we're literally not gonna
We are
take our
taking
kids.
Ham to Victoria tomorrow. It's going to be so much fun. No
Yeah.
kids,
Yeah.
no nothing.
So we're super excited.
We're going to be on a boat.
We're gonna eat a fuck ton of crabs. My son's allergic to seafood.
Oh,
so I'm
girl.
gonna eat a fuck ton of crabs.
Take advantage.
And I'm gonna get drunk every day.
Yes.
So it's gonna be some good times. This is gonna be your first time away from Ava for
No, actually, I went to Palm Springs last year.
For 5 days. Like, we're gone for 5 days. Like,
I was gone for 5 days last year. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I went to Palm Springs. I was like, bye.
Shit.
I actually need it. I need to get away.
Yeah,
Like,
you do.
I texted you like last night, and I was like, I just fucking vented about just everything. Like, even like the splatter of shit on my toilet from my child taking his shit fucking irritates the fuck out of me right now. So that's when I know I need a break and step away.
Probably because he's so used to shitting at McNally. Those McNally toilets.
Wait, you do know we drove by Lester B. Pearson, and I was like, do you think McNally's worse than Lester B? And he's like, oh yeah, I'd rather take a shit at McNally than Lester B. Pearson. Yo, have you ever been to the washroom at Lester B? It's
I can't say
fucking
I
disgusting.
have. I can't say I have.
Well, I mean, I wasn't allowed to step foot at McNally for a while. So.
I got a story to tell about where you're not allowed to be once we get our guest. Once we introduce our guest. All right.
We just had some amazing conversation. Conversation. And plus, I'm like a couple deep in with the wine. So anyways, continue.
I believe it's your part, girl.
Oh, it's me. Sorry.
We're having too much wine today.
And we're not allowed to edit this. That's what Brian says, but whatever. It's fine.
It's okay.
Okay, here we go. So, no, it's not. Is it really me?
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay. So, guys, can I say how I'm super excited about this show? And the reason is because my son is a big sneakerhead fan. So I was kind of telling them about Albert and all the organizations and enterprises that he runs. So he's actually at the studio today because he was excited to meet him and like to learn more about shoes. And yeah, like my life, or like I love shoes, but not those kind of shoes. And
You're more about the 6-inch heels, girl.
That's true. My tier in my closet is like, I think it's like 6 to 8 high with a row of like maybe 12. Like, I can't fit anything in anymore. But my son with his sneakers has overruled like his entire room downstairs. And I'm like, we need to fucking do something about this. Like, we have to go back to IKEA and get more
His shirts
Shelves.
everywhere, yeah.
shelves. It's just too much. And I've seen like, it's just too much. It's too much.
Well, I am in the same boat. I love sneakers, and like I got rid of a lot after becoming a mom, but I got rid of all my heels, and now I'm just all about comfort. And I love.
No, man,
like,
I still love my heels.
I
Fuck that.
I can't wear them anymore. It hurts. Like, it physically hurts. But today, I'm wearing my new kicks today. Can I show you guys?
You are matching with Ava. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Hold on. Guys, do you see?
You gotta make sure you get on camera.
Oh, here.
Guys, too much.
Flexibility.
All right. Okay. Okay. In all seriousness, today's special guest is the owner and founder of Legal Hustle Clothing, creator of YYC Soldier. So if you live in Calgary or surrounding area, you probably already know about his work. He's also the co-founder of Western Canada crump pioneer dance crew Empirical Freedom. And if you think that's a
Damn,
lot,
you dance too?
Yeah.
Damn.
yeah, and if you think that's a lot, he's also the creative director of By Miles Print. So obviously, talent like this has to be recognized. So SAIT alumni actually rewarded him with the Outstanding Young Alumnus Award in 2017. And most importantly, why he's here today is he is a dope dad, new dad, right? To a 1-year-old, beautiful baby boy, and a dope husband. So welcome to our show today, Albert.
Welcome.
Thanks, guys.
So tell us a little bit more about your new life as a dad.
It's hard. Honestly, it's hard to put into words because it's like I'm speechless every day, looking at my son. And I still I talk to Sneeza and I'm like, I can't believe we have a boy. Like, I can't believe
your wife.
Yeah, and I can't believe that like he's here and we have a son. Because when we started dating, we were young. Like I was 19, she's 21.
Yeah.
And then like, over the years, like we see each other grow up and stuff, and then to see how we're leveling up in life now and with our baby and stuff, it's just like, whoa.
So you you pretty much grew up together. Now you're raising a kid together.
Yeah.
So are your friends kind of have kids too, or half of them do, half of them don't?
Like within my group of boys, like
Yeah.
I'm the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my cousins like that are a year or two older than me, they all have kids. So it's kind of half and half. Like when it comes to just my boys, like Carter has all these uncles and ninongs and stuff and ninongs. And then when it comes to cousins and stuff, like they're between the ages of like Carter's 1 and like 8, 9. Yeah. So it's all in between that age range and stuff.
Yeah. And in the Filipino culture, it's all about the family parties.
That's true.
Yeah. Except for like right now is weird.
It is weird.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We just had Carter's birthday and we had 2 days because we had our parents first.
Yeah.
Because they're seniors and we
yeah.
don't know what could happen and then next day we just had friends.
Yeah.
That's very responsible of you guys, can I just say?
Because not everybody's responsible.
Right.
Well,
and
I mean, fuck. I did Jaden's graduation party and there was like fucking 80 people. Oh, mind you, it was at the park though. At the park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but see, that's outdoors, so
Yeah.
you're
But
chill.
I was
okay.
just like 100 people, not a fucking problem. Everybody just come. I mean, when it started raining, everybody was like huddled in the hut, and this like person, I don't want to say like, it was a Karen, walks by and was like, well, that's social distancing. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. It's raining. Like, relax yourself. Like, it's only for a minute. Anyways.
Oh, well, that's really interesting. Because with me too, like I was telling you, a lot of my friends don't have kids either.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting because when my kid grew up around a lot of adults, so she says a lot of
Adult
adult
stuff?
things. Like,
So did Jaden.
oh my God, what she said to me the other day? She goes, no, not the other day. This was fucking before we came in here. She goes, you have an attitude, Mom.
You kind of do,
Because I said that to her just last night. And I'm just like, do you know what an attitude is? She's like, you have an attitude. I'm like, whatever, girl. So that's where
Close
we're
enough.
at right now.
Do you feel like because majority of your friends don't have kids yet and you do, like, has there been a shift between like hanging out with friends? I know, like, think about it pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Like, do you think you would be hanging out with your friends the same amount, or do you think you would be seeing them less?
It's more or less, but it's not less because I don't want to see them. My priorities with my family
Have
right?
shifted.
And when it's like, even though me and Sneeze are both working from home,
Yeah.
even if we take a day off, like we want to spend it with Carter.
Yeah.
'Cause regardless if we're working from home, like in the daytime she'll be in her office and it'll be me and Carter.
Yeah.
And then at night it'll be me in my office and then her and Carter, but it's never together all the
Together,
time.
yeah.
So you just still need that quality time. All
Yeah,
together.
yeah. But the cool thing is that regardless of like, even though we're the only ones that have kids, a lot of my cousins that don't have kids and a lot of our friends that don't have kids love being around Carter and they love spoiling him. Like he's spoiled already.
Christmas is coming, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like his birthday just happened, and it was like, holy crap!
Happy birthday,
he's 12.
Carter.
Happy birthday, Carter.
And Christmas is coming, like, and we got both sets of grandparents here, and you know, like,
Is that the first grandchild on each side?
no, like my parents and Snee's parents both have grandkids, but we're the youngest in our family, so it's
So he's
like,
the baby.
yeah,
baby.
he's like the baby, and we're the babies of our family. So yeah.
Wow. So Albert, you were born and raised in Calgary, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me about your experience as a child and how and why you wanted to start Legal Hustle Clothing.
So growing up, you know, like I grew up in the Northeast.
Yeah.
Shout out Northeast.
So-
Northeast represent.
Wait. What high school did you go to, Albert?
I went to McNally.
Me too.
Oh, guys, I'm from Laser, Lacombe. Wait. Come on, guys. Listen. If we had to duel between McNally and Lacombe, come on. Lacombe.
Are we talking what in what sense? Like basketball
Yeah.
or dance? Because I was on
No,
the
no,
dance team.
let's
We take it anyways.
guys.
I was on that dance team.
guys, not in that aspect, but I mean, like when we had to get down and
Okay, can I just, before we move on, can I just tell this story? I was going to, I played basketball at McNally.
fuck's sakes, here
and
we go.
I was like, she's my ate. So I was like, ate, I have this game coming up. It'd be really dope if you could watch me. She's like, nah, I don't think I can do that. I was like, why? She's like, I'm kind of banned from your school.
Guys, I had a restraining order against me, and I couldn't step foot at McNally for.
Like, how many people can say that, right? I have a restraining order for
That's
that
pretty
school.
G. Hard as a mother.
Right.
I don't condone that shit for any of the kids. It was fucking stupid, but
It's true. We did address this. We said in our last episode it had to do with bullying, and we did say we were bullies in high school. We recognize that.
Can I just say how fucking painful it was where I see this chick on the fucking bus that I'm on, and I had to get off the fucking bus and wait for the next bus because I'm not allowed to be on the. Even if I got on the bus first and she got on, I had to get off. Like, fuck. So that's why I'm telling you, don't do it. It's not worth it.
Okay, so sorry, you went to McNally. So how did you come about starting Legal Hustle?
So like from junior high to high school, I've always been into sneakers, and then in junior high, I got really deep into breaking
Yeah.
and b-boying. So I kind of put two and two together, and then I played basketball on the teams for the schools I was at.
Damn. What was your b-boy name? Can I ask?
B-boy Styles.
Hey.
Oh, I was hoping that there was like a flip something b-boy in there.
Pinoy.
Like
Well,
Pinoy
okay,
b-boy
so
143 or something.
The way I got Styles was so your cousin Renee, we started this.
Oh shit, he knows Renee. What's up, Renee?
What's up, Jake?
We started this like gang.
Okay.
We called ourselves Fliptified.
All right.
So
Okay.
before we were like b-boys, it was like your name was Flip whatever, so my name was Flip Styles.
Okay.
And it kind of just went off of that, but I've always liked the name Styles, and I still keep it to this day. But it kind of reflected me as Styles. Like I was always into different dance styles, but then
Yeah.
I was also into fashion. So
Yeah.
So
Styles
it
kind
fit,
of
yeah.
yeah, and it was given to me. Like I never came up with the name. One of my old friends was like, "You're a Styles. You're Flip Styles," and I was like, "Okay." Changed my MSN name to Flip Styles.
Calgary
ICQ.
Planet.
Yeah, Calgary Planet. So it was kind of that where I got into basketball, dance, and sneakers, and understanding the b-boy culture.
Yeah.
You know, you always want to be fresh, and then understanding basketball, you want to be fresh on the court. So I always had this mentality growing up of fresh on the court, fresh off the court.
Yeah.
But then also growing up, my parents were like, you can only have one pair of shoes for basketball. And then when those are like retired, you use them for church kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, fast forward, I really loved streetwear, and I was privileged enough to travel around different parts of the world.
Yeah.
And to see graffiti and to see different art and different local brands and stores that it was just always embedded in my mind that I was going to start my own brand.
That's
It was
awesome.
just the timing, like when would I start it?
Yeah.
It says that I was actually going through was it Miles print? Was it that?
By Miles?
By Miles. Sorry. And it says that streetwear changed your life. Like how did that change your life?
So I guess I can kind of give a little teaser, but I'm kind of working on this project right now. So it's a side clothing thing on top of an online course of me trying to teach and help people start their own brands, whether it's streetwear or not, but it's called Streetwear Ruined My Life. So it kind of plays off.
So that's another thing that you have.
Cool.
It's kind of, like it's something that I've been working on for a bit. Like it's a book / clothing / like me kind of doing my mentorship because I've always been asked like, how do we start a brand and all this kind of stuff.
I'm really interested in that, by the way. I'm going to keep following that because like I grew up, I used to order, do you remember that website called Karma Loop? Karma Loop.
I was a representative for
No
Karma Loop.
way.
Were you really?
Oh my gosh. Like sometimes I would like, cause I'm 33 and my little cousins are always like, I think you're too old for that.
Yo,
but like I used to wear like Married to the Mob.
Yeah. Yo,
right?
I talked to Leia McSweeney all the time, like on Instagram, like asking her for like feedback or just like mentorship.
Wow, because sometimes I'll show up to a family party and my brother would be like, "Why do you look like a spokesperson for Karma Loop?" I'm like, "I just like the clothes, okay." And like I'm 33 now, and I got rid of a lot of those clothes, but like it's dope. Their stuff is dope,
and it's timeless. Like with streetwear, it's timeless.
It's coming back up, and it was funny because I think Jaden came and was like, "Look at my fresh, it's Stussy," and I was like, dude, Stussy was back in fucking decades ago. Get the fuck out of here or whatever. You know, like things are coming back, or just like Fila's coming back too.
Yeah.
So
Champion.
Like it. They were selling that at Walmart, and but now I was looking at it, and I was like, how the fuck is it $80 fucking for a sweater? At Walmart, it was $20. Like,
you guys have a collaboration with Champion too, don't you?
It's not like an official collaboration, but I'm like they're one of my suppliers. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think there's a lot because I got in with Champion early, like almost 10 years ago.
Wow!
Yeah, it was
before I came back.
Yeah, like I just went to a trade show here in Calgary, and I was like walking around. I'm like, Champion, what the fuck?
Yeah. Because it wasn't.
I'm like, this poor people clothes. Like, this is sellers. Yeah, this is shit my mom was buying me. Because it's cheap. And then I just talked to a representative, and then from that, they just put me on.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like some of the stuff, like this is a Champion shirt. This hoodie is a Champion hoodie.
Cool.
So, obviously, like I'm using it because it's the brand that people like.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the quality of it is like the quality is good now. I don't remember what it was like before.
I can't even remember.
No, I don't remember.
But
well, here's to hoping that Legal Hustle Clothing becomes legendary and timeless.
Guys, episode 9, Albert was on here.
Yeah.
So
you heard him here, guys.
So you heard him here.
So once he blows up, don't forget, Ham had him here.
So
I shook his hand today.
Yeah, right. Wait, I'm gonna ask for Albert's autograph right now. Just when he gets fucking famous, I'm gonna fucking sell it and hopefully get like $1 million from it, and then I'll never have to work ever again.
Just start reselling my clothes, like Supreme. Right.
And mark it up for like $200 a t-shirt. Supreme is fucking crazy, by the way. I'm like,
it's funny because my son will like drop a fuck ton of money on stuff I don't know now. And I'm like, I'm sorry, how much is this t-shirt? It's like fucking $180 or like a Supreme thing. And it's funny because I will buy it for him, but I won't buy shit for myself. Like and then, well, everybody's just like, we wonder where he fucking learns that from. I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. Maybe I shouldn't have taught him how to like expensive taste, but
I dress vicariously through my kid.
You guys really are so cute together.
Well, if I buy her something and they have the exact same thing in adults, or my feet are small and fit into kids, so I'll just get 2.
Yeah, I used to work at Champs. And
do you still have any hookups? Just joking. Such a Filipino thing to say.
I worked for Foot Locker at Cross Iron, then Sunridge Champs, and then Chinook Champs.
Oh, okay. My cousin works at Chinook Champs.
Ryan.
Yeah, shout out Ryan. He got me these shoes.
On discount?
Are you going to put your feet back up so you can show everybody for the second time?
That hurt a little
But every time I bought a pair of shoes, like this was way before Carter was born, but every time I bought a pair of shoes, I always bought like
an extra baby pair. Oh, that's
just cute. In the future.
So now he's finally getting to wear them.
So he had a collection even before he was born.
Yeah.
How long were you starting this collection?
10 years maybe.
Shut the fuck up. Really?
So how many
10
pairs
years?
does he have?
I don't know. When we were moving, I was like, holy fuck.
So you're a family of sneakerheads. You probably had like
it's
truck
you,
full.
your son,
Yeah, we had a
and
bit.
your wife. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
damn.
But luckily, like, she's a size 3, like a preschool size. So
Me too. Well, no,
Damn.
I'm a grade school size.
yeah, she's like preschool, grade school.
What
Holy
is that?
shit.
Wait, what size is that? It's like 3?
Yeah.
I'm a 4. Fuck. Why
You're
do we have such
preschool
twins?
4 or grade school? No, you're a preschool.
You're
4.
preschool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
she's
so.
she's between like a 3 and a 4. I think 3.5 is like the perfect size for her.
I'm
That's
just
awesome.
I'm just
because
saying.
kids' shoes are cheaper too.
Exactly.
And they're easier to find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes like she'll ask me for something after. Like, oh, do you know where I can find a pair of these? I'm like, fuck. Like, I remember we went to Stadium Goods last year. We went to New York.
Nice.
And she wanted a pair of bread ones, and she went up to the rack, and it was like $700
Jesus.
American,
God, I'm dying.
and a size 3.5. And it was like, yeah, maybe not.
I've only ever spent that much on lubes, and now I can't even wear them.
Wait, what is the, like, how much money, like a ridiculous amount where you dropped on a pair of shoes?
Retail.
Oh, how
I
much?
always like told like $300.
That was the most you've
That was
ever
the most,
spent?
yeah, because I always told myself if I don't get it the day they release, or if I can't get them online or whatever, like, fuck it, it's not meant to be.
Do you know what shoe I'm fucking looking for?
What?
Is those the Penny Hardaways? The one, I don't know, I can't remember what it's the one that's like blue and white and it has like that swoosh on the side. I think
The foam
Jaden
posit.
I think Jaden was saying it was fucking like $900 right now. I was like, I had a fucking pair of that.
When you were younger.
when I was younger.
When it
if I
wasn't
knew
$900.
that it was gonna be good.
Yeah, and your pair is probably gonna like
I
if you
would've
had
saved
them,
it.
they would probably be worth a lot more than that retro pair.
Shout out to Penny Hardaway. Whatever happened to him?
He's coaching, I think now.
Is he really?
Yeah,
Damn.
I've been following his Instagram.
I'm gonna follow Penny Hardaway. I really love him. He's like my favorite basketball player.
Aw.
So Albert, what do you think is the biggest challenge for you as an entrepreneur entering into fatherhood?
Like when we had our baby, I actually went through postpartum like anxiety and depression.
That's interesting. I've never heard a dad ever
That's the
say
thing.
that.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
the
even
thing.
know that
It's 'cause
existed.
You know what's crazy is like when I started putting it publicly out on Instagram, like I went through this.
Yeah.
I started getting a lot of like text messages, DMs, like from other dads, and it like no one talks about it, and that's the
No.
thing. Like especially being a dad, like, and this is for me. It took me a while to tell my wife because I was like I didn't do anything.
Like you
why-
also felt guilty for feeling that way where
Yeah.
you didn't bear a child and push it out and
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
so I felt like, who the fuck am I to say anything? You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
No,
And
it's totally legit.
so the hardest part for me was understanding the transition because right after we had Carter, I maybe gave it about a week, and then I was like trying to get back to my 5 a.m. routine because I used to wake up at 5 a.m. every day to go to the gym.
Yeah.
And then when I would get home, I would go to work, so wake up at like 4:30, get to the gym by 5,
Yeah.
work out till like 7, and then be home by 7:30
Yeah.
to start work for 9 kind of thing, right? So I
Yeah.
have a break in between. So I tried doing that right away. Like it was, I'm going to get back into my routine, you know, and in my mind too, I was like, oh, Carter's going to sleep for most of the time because he's a newborn, but I didn't understand what the fuck really happens.
Yeah.
And I still don't understand. Like there's shit that happens all the time where I'm like,
You're
like,
There-
what?
It's like a different challenge at each stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, it was postpartum first that hit me really hard. And
Did your wife have postpartum?
she was actually all right.
Okay.
Yeah, she held it down. So like shout outs to her for holding it down. She did have times where she struggled and she talked to me about it, and it was also stuff from my end because like I was trying to get back to this routine. I was trying to pick clients up again and working with businesses and I was trying to go back to my old life. So that really hit me hard in the face.
Yeah.
So it made me step back for a little bit. I want to say almost a month of just like, I still worked, but it wasn't a lot
Yeah.
because I was trying to be there for my wife,
Yeah.
be there for Carter, and and try to understand where I'm coming from as an entrepreneur and as a dad. So that was a thing that really challenged me. But now we figured out a schedule that worked. I thought I worked the best in the morning,
Yeah.
and I actually don't. Like, I worked best in the morning when we had no kid.
Yeah.
So Sneeza would work in the morning, and I would work from 5. So she'd do 9 to 5. So it's like 9 to 5 at home.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I would do 5 to whatever. Like last night I worked until 4:30 in the morning.
Damn.
And then I woke up at 7:30 to feed Carter breakfast and stuff. But
So is that your routine every day, or it just varies?
It just varies.
Depends on what you're doing.
yeah, like I had some shit happen to one of my machines as we were moving.
Yeah.
So I'm working with I'm working with Cheeky Mejia right now, and
Nice.
the first Ave corner
Yeah.
store, and I was trying to get some stuff done for them.
Yeah.
But because one of my machines broke, I was trying to repair it, ordering parts from the States and
Yeah.
Edmonton, and doing all these things. On top of I had to buy a new machine
Yeah.
because it's just like one of those things,
busy.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when I finally had everything working again, I was like, fuck, I just want to pump these out and get them done because I told them a deadline,
Yeah.
and I already passed it.
Yeah.
But they understood too because, like I just had Carter's birthday, just moved and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
You're busy.
But when I say I'm going to do something, like,
you
I
gotta
want to, yeah, like,
you gotta do it.
Good
right?
for you.
yeah. So it's just one of those things of like understanding scheduling. So
Yeah.
last night it was long, but I also didn't pay attention to the time. So it was also my fault.
Yeah,
'Cause-
because I feel like if you're in the groove of things, you just don't want to stop because
Yeah.
it's like you've
'Cause
got
you're so
traction and
productive.
momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was in the zone.
Yeah.
And then I looked at
That
my
happens.
clock.
You're
and I
like,
was
shit.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So let's go back to your postpartum that you went through. So do you think a big part of why you couldn't come out with it straight up was, I don't know if you listened to our other episode about toxic Asian
Yeah, I was
culture.
gonna mention that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
So like did you grow up believing that
boys don't
real
cry.
boys
Yeah,
don't cry,
yeah.
why are you crying kind of thing? Like do you think that played a big part in
Yeah.
why you didn't want to say anything at first?
It definitely did, and like I don't blame my dad for it because it was just like the
It's
era
what
that
they knew.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's like what he understood. So I don't blame him. But now I'm educating him about stuff that he says
Yeah.
to Carter, which is cool because now my dad's like, okay, yeah, I understand. But he didn't understand with me because
That's all he knew.
yeah, that's all he knew.
Yeah.
So it is, yeah, like a lot of it was, boys don't cry, they don't feel some type of way. But growing up, my dad was also very, he was very open
Yeah.
with me.
That's good.
And it was,
That's amazing.
but it was also, I think it was just like boys in general growing up as a
That
teenager.
is true. Wait, do you have siblings?
Yeah, but
Do you
I'm
have sisters?
I have one sister, one older brother.
Were they tougher on your sister than the rest of the boys?
I'm assuming they were because she was the oldest.
Yeah.
And then my brother, my sister says my brother had it a little bit easier. And then they had me, and it was like, fuck it, I'm on my own kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
'cause-
yeah.
The youngest child usually goes through that.
Yeah.
Like the parents are just like,
And the age gap is
Yeah.
like my sister is 16 years older than me. My
Oh,
brother's
wow.
14
Oh wow,
years older.
that is
Oh,
a
that's
big
why.
age gap.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
yeah.
I was almost like an only child for most of my
Yeah.
life, right? So my parents, they kind of were like, "Oh, you're Canadian born, you
Yeah.
figure it out." I'm like, sick.
You're like, thanks.
well, good for you though that you can now turn this around and educate your dad, and you know better now that you have a son and you can impart this wisdom on him.
Yeah.
And, we always talk about bridging that generational gap.
Absolutely.
And sometimes I do slip. Like I'll say something and
course.
Because it's a
Sydney's-
learned
You're human.
behavior that
Yeah.
we've done.
Yeah.
We talk about it all the time that
Yeah.
there's things that I do that I learned as a kid, and I'm doing it to my kid right now
because
and
it's what you know.
because it's what I know. And then all of a sudden there's like a guilt that sinks in, and I was like, fuck, I'm so out of line right now. Like, who the fuck do I think I am?
Yeah.
To the point that I can do that. To take off the part that he's my kid, who am I to treat him that way? If he weren't my kid, I would probably not do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like I'm happy that Sneeza calls me out on things. Like
That's
if
amazing.
if I slip
Shout
up on
out,
something,
Sneeza.
she'll like say something.
That's
to me, right?
important.
So,
It's important.
So it's good, like, because I'm also learning, she's learning, and then we get to educate our parents at the same time.
So, aside from your parents, did anybody ever make like bullshit comments where you're like, fuck you? Like, because you've come out with like postpartum and it's like, and no one really knows about it. Like, I didn't even know about that thing existed. And it's great that, you know, dads are saying it because no one speaks up
Nobody
about
does.
it. Nobody does. Like, did people make you feel like you were weak, like you're supposed to be man of the house? Like, did anybody make any comments, friends, other extended family, where you're just like, wow?
No, no one did.
Okay.
I think they were more open because it was like, shit, like this guy puts on a face and then he finally opens up about how he feels and now
Like he's not okay.
Yeah, so then they were just like, a lot of my boys were like, damn, like what do you need me to do? All this kind of stuff. Obviously they won't know because they've never had a kid, right?
Yeah.
So and I can't blame them, but it was just like, I just need to tell someone.
Yeah.
Right. So I told my wife, I told my boys, and then I actually told my cousin that has 2 sons.
Yeah.
And he was like, I know what you're going through.
Yeah.
And then he started telling me about what he went through.
Yeah.
And then it made me open up like to other dads, because after we had our son, because we were also we took the class, like the birth and babies class.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I also had some homies up in Toronto that had kids, and I just reached out to them like, how are you doing? Because as much as like everyone should ask about how's the baby and mom, no one ever asked about the dad.
Right.
And that's what
Nobody
also
does.
got me, because no one ever asked me how I was doing.
Yeah.
And like, you know, it was one of those things where I had the opportunity to tell people, but when no one asked, I was like, I'm not gonna take the shine away from my wife, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And that's really unfortunate too, because that's pretty much why we want to recognize dads all the time. It's because, like I always say, dads always get shit on. Like, of course, the woman does have the harder part of the deal, but I mean, when it comes to like mental health, nobody ever can prepare you for a baby.
No,
And
absolutely not.
shout out to your boys for being there for you when you said that, like,
Because usually your boys will razz you about it, right?
Yeah.
Right. And I still deal with the same thing too, because a lot of like my boyfriend's friends still like live at home, or like they have all the freedom in the world. And it's like, now that he's a dad, it's like, well, your life is so much different from theirs. But instead of empathizing with him, it's kind of just like, you know, they kind of just give him a hard time sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's also age. So when I say age, it's not like, oh, because you guys are older, you guys should be here. But I think it just depends on who you're telling has gone through.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think I just told the right amount of people. And then from that, it made me feel more comfortable. And then it made me feel more comfortable to talk to the other dads and see
That's good.
like how they were doing.
Yeah.
Because no one talks about that.
No, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Because
Yeah.
one, I didn't know, and you're right. Next time that a friend or a family member has a baby, I should ask the dad, like, how are you doing? Because I don't really talk to the dads. I'm like literally talking to moms all the time. And I think it's really important because everybody's life changes, not just the mom, also the dads. Like, I think there's a lot of adjustment that happens. And like Giselle and I say, we have no idea what the fuck to do. No one gave us a manual. No one, everybody's different, you know? So what I wanted to know was that, because you have started Legal Hustle like 10 years ago, like that's over a decade. Do you think this is the reason why you waited to like have Carter, or was it like it's time we should have a baby, or did it just happen and we'll let it happen after, or it was like I'm gonna get to the peak of my game, then I'm gonna start a family?
We actually, so when we got married, in 2018.
Yeah.
We were trying.
Yeah.
Right. But then we also talked about it, and we were just saying, you know, we don't want to put all our happiness in this bundle that doesn't exist yet. You know, so we kind of just planned, like, we talked about it, and it was just like, you know, if it doesn't happen right away, it doesn't happen right away. You know, we're going to live our lives together. We're going to keep building our businesses and our empires, you know, like we're going to keep doing our things.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until my cousin said, we saw him in December for his son's birthday, and he was like, stop trying. That's all he said. He just said, stop trying. And by January, we were pregnant.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so crazy.
Like when you think about it, and you're just like, we're going to be pregnant, we're going to be pregnant, we're going to be pregnant. And the thing too is we didn't want to set ourselves up for disappointment.
Yeah, that too.
Like I've heard people say, oh yeah, we're going to be pregnant by this time. And then when they don't get pregnant, like they take it out on each other.
Yeah.
You know,
or it's like, it's you that has the problem, not me, or vice versa, right?
So that was the one thing we promised to each other was like, if we don't get pregnant right away, so be it. We're going to travel. We're going to do our thing, you know. But if we do get pregnant, then shit, like a new chapter is happening. Amazing. Yeah. So it was just when we got married in August of 2018. We saw my cousin December 2018. Yeah. And as soon as he said, stop trying, I'm like, okay. And then,
Wait, when you guys, so a couple episodes ago, we talked about a friend of ours who was trying to have a baby and they couldn't. And I guess the question that I want to ask is, because when you guys were trying, we asked her, I was like, was sex just enjoyable at the time, or was it more like a chore because you wanted to have the baby when you guys were trying to have that expectation?
I think because we talked about it first.
Yeah.
It was still enjoyable.
Yeah.
So because we didn't say when we were trying, like it was just trying as in, okay, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, then there's no attachment to this feeling of it's happening or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was still enjoyable. It wasn't a task. It didn't. Yeah. It wasn't like, okay, at 6 o'clock when the full moon is out.
Yeah. We gotta go.
I'm ovulating.
Hurry up. Let's go.
We gotta flip over upside down, like all that. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't planned like that.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people too that exact same thing happened. Like everyone says, if you want to have a baby, just don't try so hard. I think it's just that added pressure, and it's just
and all that does stuff to your body, like the woman's body and the men's body, right?
Stress,
Like you're already, if you're working a 9 to 5 and that stresses you out, right? And you go home and try to do this task.
Yeah, it's a chore.
It's a chore, and you're just stressing yourself out.
Exactly.
Yeah. So in terms of gender roles, would you say that it's easier for men to start a business than women? In terms of like trying to start a family too.
I don't know that answer, to be honest. And like the reason why I don't know that answer was because when I started my business, I was 21 years old.
Yeah.
Or 20 years old, and I was still in college.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I didn't know what I was doing. Like me and my old business partner were just like, oh, we're making money. Let's just throw it in here and do this and, you know, build this business. But I you know, the way gender roles are now in society, I'm hoping it's the same.
Yeah.
But I am seeing like more women, like what is that, boss moms or boss babes?
Boss babes.
Yeah, like they're blowing up. And then I see more women entrepreneurs blowing up and are doing more TED Talks and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's cool to see that. So yeah, I'm hoping like with gender roles and
that's an even playing field now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to elaborate on that, so again, so if your wife today was like, say you guys didn't have Carter and you guys got pregnant and you had the baby and she's like, now's the time to launch my business. It is the perfect time right now. And then the baby has come 3 months in and she's like, I want to launch this business. What would you tell your wife? Like, I know like people will shame her to be like, you're not going to stay with your kid for 12 months. Like, obviously it's either you are going to pick up the slack, and we know that running enterprises and businesses takes a lot of hours.
Yeah.
If she were to be like, I want to do this after 3 months, like, what would you tell her?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've seen her work in an office and she's seen me work, and the shit that we bring home fucking sucks.
Yeah.
So if she was like, yeah, well, she actually did talk to me about that. So that's why I'm like, yo, fuck, let's do it. Let me know if you need merchandise. Like, let me know if you need graphic design stuff.
That's amazing.
Like a logo. Mm-hmm. So we try to bounce off each other. Like some of the captions that I put up on Instagram
are hers.
Like my fucking grammar sucks. And every time I post something, I'm like, hey, can you read this? And she'll like my bio I sent you guys. She wrote that. Like
did she?
Like I typed it
That's
and
amazing.
then she like looked over it because she's a copywriter. Like she knows how to put the emotion into words. So yeah, she like has talked to me about, you know, I want to do this and I want to build, and I've seen her build before Carter. So if she stopped, like when she stopped working for a bit, for the 3 months she didn't work, she was like going crazy.
She needed to get that creative stuff
Yeah,
out.
because she's also a dancer. Like we're both creative. So to hold back on the creativity, like that killed her.
I think the biggest thing that we talk about, and sometimes like I sometimes text Giselle at like 2-3 in the morning, and like we have like all the time. I fucking never sleep. So I always tell her, like, I mean, there's things that we struggle with, and what I like to tell people, and they're just, you know, sometimes I get shamed for it because I've been in like corporate, I've been a director, I've been regional, I've been all that, and it's funny because somebody made a comment about like, you travel that much, like I could never do that and be away from my kid. I was like, yo, I'm a fucking single mom. Who the fuck is gonna pay my fucking bills? You? Okay, I'm more than happy to stay with my kid, but I got a mouth to feed, I got a fucking mortgage to pay, I gotta pay my car,
shoes to buy.
Exactly, right? And I felt like super shamed for going to reach my dream. And what I was, my point is, you are an individual. And I always say to Giselle, you are Giselle Dino. I'm Harleen and you are Albert. Just because a child enters in, you can't fucking lose your identity.
Oh, 100%.
And I felt like I lost my identity with my son because that was the expectation of me. I literally like would cry in the middle of my floor, like on my condo floor, when I had to pick up my kid when he was sleeping in the car with like 6 bags of grocery, his diaper bag. And then when I tell that story to people, I laugh and I was like, what a fucking pussy you are. Are you fucking serious? You cried because you had to carry a fucking baby and grocery bags? Get the fuck out of here. You know,
that was not because you had to do all that thing. It was more to it though.
No, I know, but you know, if I think about everything of the fucking shit I went through in life and the hustle I had to do as a single mom and everything else, like, and when people shame me for doing those things, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to be shamed for it. What would you say to people if say your wife was like, I'm going back to work and your son was only 3 months old, and they're going to be like, you're letting your wife do that? Like, what would you say to people?
Fuck you.
I don't even know if I'd say anything. I think I'd slap the shit out of her. Because people have asked Sneeza that question before when I was buying kid shoes.
Yeah.
Before we had a kid.
Yeah.
They were like, you're going to let him buy that? And she's like, he fucking worked for that money. He can do what the fuck he wants to do with it.
Yeah, exactly.
So like if like I've heard things where people are just before Carter like, oh, you guys are quitting your jobs. Like, oh, we're so lucky that we have our security. And what the fuck is security during COVID? You know what I mean? So it's just like the things that people say sometimes or whatever they grew up with. Like I can't hate on it.
No,
but at the same time, it's just like, yo, think about your shit. Like don't mind anybody else's business. And that's the thing I would say is like mind your own fucking business. Like if we're struggling, we're struggling. If we're not struggling, then enjoy what we have like vicariously through us.
Right. Yeah.
Like I find that people that speak when they're not spoken to about a subject.
Yeah.
Those are the most miserable people, and it's like misery needs company, right?
Yeah.
That's right. And they can't even be happy. Like I do have I can't name names. Maybe one day if I get drunk enough. Name names and drop names. You know, there's people that I literally I'm a giver. Like I just love to give. I think that's like
It's your love language.
It's my love language, and it makes me happy. Like it really truly does.
I can see that.
And when like sometimes you just want to fucking punch people out. I've started to learn that I need to filter and cycle people out because there are levels and stages. I felt like I couldn't level up because people were dragging me, and I kept them because of my loyalty to them.
Yeah.
And the minute I fucking dropped them, I leveled the fuck up. I was exploding, and it was like, wow, did I just fucking do this? I couldn't even believe I did this, you know?
I had someone tell me before, like, we made our announcement.
Yeah.
Someone was like, "You're not ready to be a dad."
What? No one's ever ready to be a
Was
parent.
that person a parent?
No, that's the thing. Like, they're not a parent.
Hold on.
What the fuck?
This is what I did last time. Whoever that is, fuck you.
They're like, "You're not ready to be a dad. Focus on your business first." And in my head, I was like, man, you don't even like, do you know who I am? Like, my biggest dream is to be a father.
Yeah.
You know, and do you know who my wife is? Like, you can't speak for us.
For sure.
Yeah.
But it was like definitely one of those things. Like, I remember having lunch with him, and he said that shit, and it was the last time I ever fucking did anything with him.
Wow.
So
And since then, like,
does he ever
I'm a
reach out to
fucking
it?
dope ass dad.
Yeah.
You are.
Like,
And you're still thriving in
my
your
business
business.
is a lot better
Right. And-
because of Carter. Like, you're working.
It's a new purpose for
Yeah.
you in life, right?
And you know, to be fair though, like nobody is ever really ready,
Ready.
to
No,
have a kid.
ever.
Never.
Ever.
Don't
Ever.
like never.
Even though we took the birth and babies class, when you have a baby in your hand,
Oh my god.
You're like, what the fuck do I
That,
do?
no, that class is honestly, it's not. It teaches you what to do when you're delivering, but they
Yeah.
don't tell you anything past that.
but the thing is too is like, no matter what they teach you, shit can happen.
Yeah,
you're never
indeed.
gonna learn parenting from any books, from any
No.
like it's all from experience.
Yeah. So, yeah, like he told me this shit, and the most fucked up part was, so we kind of had a tough pregnancy because Sneeza has a short cervix, so she had to get it tied or stitched.
Yeah.
But for him to say you're not ready to be a dad, like, I wasn't ready for the situation. Like, I wasn't
Right.
ready for that. I wasn't ready. You know, like, there's
makes
so
me
many
mad.
things that can happen from conception to like giving birth that you can't be ready for any of that shit.
But not even just that. Like it's them growing up.
yeah.
Like they're gonna throw shit in your face that you're never gonna be ready for, but you roll with the punches, and that's what being a good dad is.
Yeah.
So I think that's a bullshit statement.
Yeah. So when he said that, I was like,
So obviously you don't talk to them, and do you feel like because you have Carter now, you're like, fucking get the fuck out of here? Like, I'm ready to like just start cutting people that
100%.
don't add value into your circle.
as soon as Carter came out, like, my life instantly was different. There was a
Yeah.
lot of people, like, I cut people, and there's also people I just kind of saved my energy.
Yeah.
You know, so I've always, before we even had Carter, I kind of was starting to practice the you know, like, sharing energy.
Yeah.
Because when you're always helping someone or helping people,
Yeah.
like, you're giving, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you also have to remember to receive. So that was the one thing that I remembered to do before we had a baby. And then when we had Carter, like, I already knew, I'm like, boom, boom, boom. Like, these are the main people that I need, because I know that if anything happened to me, you know, like, these guys can help take care of Sneeza and take care of Carter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And it was my mentality of things was like, if shit happened to me, like, who can I trust to make sure my son grows up to be
What
the
you want
next
him
big
to be.
the next big thing, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And it's funny too, because a lot of people say that, like when you were talking about losing yourself as a mom, I feel like I found myself as a mom, because I don't know if we talked about this before in our previous podcast episodes, but I was doing a lot of dumb shit. and I feel like Ava came into my life at the right time, because the universe was just like, you got to stop.
like, slow down.
Slow down. You
Stop being a fucking
yeah,
asshole.
stop being an asshole. Stop making these dumbass decisions. Stop ending up in the hospital. All this stuff. And then after I became a mom, I'm like, I don't really know what else I'm good at. I don't know really who I am, because, like, you know, I obviously can't party anymore. I can't travel to Australia on a whim. All this stuff. Like, I couldn't do that anymore. So I kind of did lose myself for a little bit. And then it wasn't until actually not too long ago that, like, this podcast has really helped me too come out of my shell and figure out what I'm good at. And obviously, like, when you push me to do stuff, I'm just
Yeah.
like, I can do it. But I feel like a lot of people are like that, where after they have a kid, they find their passion in life, and they find out who they really are,
Yeah.
who their friends are.
Absolutely.
who's gonna
You
be
will
there.
find it real fucking
Oh,
quickly.
yeah.
And
Yep.
who's going to stand beside you when when it's fucking tough, and
Yeah.
when people are like, they're there. They're there. It's like,
And then I even have some homies that, like, we've always been homies, but I didn't realize how much they would step up.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
That's
there's like,
amazing.
there's some homies I was like, holy shit, like, you're texting me like, yo, can I come see Carter? Can, you know,
Yeah.
and like, as much as you can't always have that, it's just, you know, it's nice to know that people are wanting to be part of your son or your kid's life.
Especially when they're not parents themselves,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And like some of my homies
to
are
spend
young.
time with you and to spend time with you and with Carter, to be like, you know what, I get that you guys are new parents. Let me bend over back for you and let me come to you, because I understand that you and your wife can't leave because you have a newborn baby or your life has changed.
Yeah, the real one.
Yeah.
Those
like,
are the real
I gotta
friends.
shout out like my boy Rupert, because he also came, like when we had our baby, he's a chef.
Shout out Rupert.
Yeah,
Shout out I know Rupert.
Yeah, you know Rupert. He
Yeah.
would come through, like, especially because we lived close like before we moved. We lived close, so every time he was done work, he's like, hey, we had all this extra food. I'm going to come by and drop it off. So he would come and bring us like amazing meals.
Oh,
like
that's
this was
so
like
nice.
before
So
COVID,
nice.
and even when COVID happened, he was like, hey, I left some food at the door for you. You know,
Aw.
so shout out to him. Like he stepped up like
Yeah.
a lot and
He's
helped
such
me
a
out.
good kid. I was on the dance team with his sister.
With Nina, yeah.
Yeah, with Nina.
And like, and my cousin Robin too. Like my cousin Robin, my cousin Marianne.
Oh,
Like,
Bautista.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I
Like,
went to school with Mary. Yeah.
They stepped up hard, and you know they took care of Carter, and they made sure, you know, they're still like being his ninong and ninong by helping discipline him, but also taking care of him. Like,
right.
you guys, like, can we hold him? Like, you guys take a break for
and
the
and you know, being ninong and ninong is more than just giving gifts.
No,
right?
it's more to that.
It's you develop a trust with the kid, like, because like you said, if anything were to ever happen, like that's what ninongs and ninongs are for.
They have to
right?
step up.
yeah.
That's good to hear that
Yeah,
they
so-
take that role very seriously.
Yeah, so like those guys, you know, they held it down for us when we had Carter. It just sucked when COVID happened. Like it like stopped. Everything
I know.
stopped.
I know.
We used to have like our nieces and nephews come over and help babysit with us, and
Yeah.
then it just stopped because we didn't know what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right. Especially with like a newborn.
Right.
So since COVID has happened, one, I have 2-part questions for you. Pre-COVID, how did you keep things spicy with your wife since Carter has come? And then COVID hit. How did you keep spicy with your wife?
How did you keep from not killing each other?
And not wanting to kill each other, and still like, and you had a newborn. Like there was a lot of fucking adjustment within that year. Like, how did you guys keep it spicy?
Easier.
I think it's just all communication.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a dumbass sometimes, and she says something, and I'm like, you said it this way. You know what I mean? But
I love how you can actually call yourself out.
And you
though.
can
That's
admit
amazing.
that. Yeah.
yeah, like it's just, I think what kept our, like, the spiciness of our relationship was just communication has to be like A1.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have that, you know, like she can say something to me and I could be so offended and be mad the whole day and not say anything to her.
Yeah.
Right. Or I could say something to her. But don't get me wrong, we're not perfect. Like there were times during
no one's
COVID where it
perfect.
was like she was in one room, I was in the living room, and I'm like, fuck this shit. Like, you know,
Yeah,
and
COVID
she says
did that with everybody.
yeah, and she did the same thing, and it was just like we always had to remember to come back together because we were like, this is Carter. Like we can't be mad at each other and show Carter, you know, when we're mad at each other or yelling at each other and stuff. But you know, I didn't mind the quarantine because it made us learn a lot more about each other. And on top of that too, like we were living with my parents. So
okay.
there's also that transition of, you know, like parents are there and we're there, and like with my parents, if Carter's crying a lot, there's like a time they'd come and be like, here, give him to me, like,
Oh
let me-"
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Why is he crying?
Yeah,
Like don't let him cry.
you don't know what you're
Yeah.
doing, and it's like, well, fuck, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You know?
Right. No, for real. Yeah, you don't.
But it was like stuff like that, you know, and I think now we live in our own place, and it's just the three of us.
yeah, that's good.
So-
Gonna be really good for you guys.
Yeah, it's good. It was good to have that. It was great to have the help. Like
Yeah.
my parents are great help. It was obviously they don't know what it's like to have a baby anymore because the last time they had a baby was 30
a long
years
time
ago.
ago.
Yeah, so they don't understand, everything. So it was one of the things, like, as much as I got mad, I had to take a step back and realize, like, you guys don't really know anything.
Yeah, no,
right? And
sure.
so it was like that helped. The communication part was like the part that really, brought us closer together.
Yeah.
Regardless if we were venting about something, or if we were coming together to communicate, like, okay, what's the best way we're gonna raise Carter?
Yeah.
And that was like how we came up with a plan of her working in the morning and me switching. Right.
It's actually a great idea.
Yeah, that is a great idea.
Yeah, I don't know why I don't know why I always thought I was a morning person. Like I love waking up at 5 a.m.
I think it's if you didn't have a kid. I think things change. Like
definitely. Like it changed quick, but I didn't want to accept it. That was the thing. Like I didn't want to accept the change. Like I wanted that 5 a.m. routine. I wanted that gym time. I wanted this. I wanted that.
All my best work happens at nighttime.
Yeah.
So I do everything mom shit, work shit, everything else, but all my creatives. That's why she gets all the messages at like 3 a.m.
Oh man, sometimes I'm texting some of my boys like that too.
Sorry to wake you up.
Because you just have to get it out, right?
Yeah.
Or you'll forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like I'll try to FaceTime one of my buddies like, yo, what about this idea?
He's like, I'm fucking sleeping, buddy.
Sometimes it's good because he might be in the recording studio because he's a rapper, so he might be in the studio. But it's like, what the fuck are you doing at 3 o'clock in the morning? Don't you have to wake up at like 7 to feed Carter? Yo, we're good,
You just
man.
have to get that out.
Yeah.
So with everything that's going on right now, because there's a shit ton that's going on right now, like what social issues are you concerned about right now as it relates to your son's future? Like, what are you going to do? Like, have you and Sunita talked about what you're going to do to make him aware of that, or like how you're going to talk to him about it?
I actually bought an ABC book called A for Activists. Like it was a book about activism.
Yeah.
But I think what we've talked about things with Carter is obviously, even though he might not really understand it yet, just kind of, just the conversations we have with him, accept everyone, all that kind of stuff. But the one thing I've also, because I don't know what his life is going to be like in 5 years.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm also teaching him nicely to be like, stand up for yourself. Like, don't take shit from anyone.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's important.
Especially being like an Asian Canadian or a Filipino Canadian, sometimes we still get shit on. Like I was just talking to my brother about this stuff. Like as much as there's stuff happening with Black Lives Matter and all that, there's also the people of color, right? And like
absolutely.
we're all like trying to build together to make sure our kids' futures are are equal.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
at the same time, I'm kind of teaching Carter, like, don't ever take shit from anyone.
Yeah, that's important.
Right. And I try to say it nicely, but at the same time, like, you never take fucking shit from anyone.
Yeah.
You carry your last name. And that's the thing I'm kind of like, I guess hard on.
Yeah.
Is just like you carry the name and you're carrying your own legacy. You're not carrying my legacy, but you have all these ancestors and grandparents and everything. Like, do them proud.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
So, Albert, what advice would you give dads who are either thinking of being an entrepreneur and about to have their first child? Do you have any tips and hacks? Like, what has worked for you? Like, what advice could you give them?
Talk to your significant other about it. Communication.
Yeah.
My main thing was always communication with my business. Even if it's like, I'm going to buy a new machine, I wouldn't just buy it. Like, I would talk to Sneeze about it.
Yeah.
And it also helped me understand, like, do I really need this like $600 machine or do I not need it?
Yeah.
So for anyone wanting to start a business, I'm all for it. Like, do it. But at the same time, don't just do it on the whim.
Yeah.
Like,
Think about it,
sleep on it, but speak about it.
Yeah.
Because when you speak it out to existence and you share your idea, you're kind of creating your path, because then you'll know what you want from it and what you don't want from it. And I find that if you're not speaking about it, or like, you can journal it, but if you're not sharing it, you won't really understand what you're doing. So for any new dads that are having babies that want to start a business, like, by all means go for it, because we need more local businesses.
Absolutely.
And just like, be confident in what you're doing.
Yeah.
No matter if you just started this or you've been doing it for myself for 10 years, like, it gets hard.
Yeah.
It gets tough.
Yeah.
No matter how many years you've been doing it, but that confidence is what levels you up.
Yeah.
And it does help to say things out loud. Because once you say it out loud, it's like, shit.
You're like,
I have to do it now.
I can't fucking take that back. Now they're going to think I'm a fucking fraud.
Well, like, and that's how I started my business. I was always telling Saniza when I was 19, 20.
Were you guys dating back then?
Yeah.
So you've been together for 10 years, but only married for 2?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And I used to tell like, oh yeah, I want to do this. I want to start this business. I want to do this, whatever it was. And I want to do this. I want to do this. And one day she was like, you're all talk. And that shit fucking hit me so hard. I was like, well, I'm going to fucking show you then.
Yeah, like, fuck you.
But it was good because it lit a fire. And that's what I mean, like communication. Like if she didn't communicate with me just by saying you're all talk.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have done it.
I wouldn't have done it. You know, I'd probably still be talking about legal hustle.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm going to start this t-shirt thing.
Yeah. And then you're always, like we were saying earlier, it's like you find barriers and objection to why you can't. And you're always working. You're always looking for a perfect time to doing stuff, but there's never a perfect time.
Yeah. And like, I just got called out by Sen a few months ago because of like the whole streetwear ruined my life concept that I've been working on. She's like, start recording yourself with videos and start posting it. And I was like, but I don't like my voice. I don't like camera, right?
That was my reason why I didn't want to start the podcast.
But it's weird because like whenever Sate asks me to come speak to student or be on camera, like I'll do it for them. But for myself, like
you wouldn't do it.
Yeah, because I'm just like, I don't want to be that weird guy, you know, but now that we moved and I have a bigger space, like I have all my backdrops, my lighting set up, like I'm more comfortable. You know, and it's just like your own atmosphere now.
Yeah. You know what? You have, it's been a decade. You have a lot of shit. There is another generation behind you that is trying to find themselves. So, I mean, fuck, we wish you all the success. And we can't wait to see all that evolving.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So before we wrap up here, I want to ask you, what is your all-time favorite sneaker? And your all-time favorite sneaker and your dream sneaker.
My all-time favorite sneaker would be the Air Jordan 1 mids, but the new loves. Okay. Just because I met Saniza when I first held my first dance workshop, she walked in wearing them. Oh. And like Rupert actually, because they worked at Nando's together. Okay. And Rupert brought her. Yeah. But like I didn't even see her. She just walked in. I was like looking at her feet and I was like, nice shoes.
Damn, you owe a lot to Rupert, hey?
Yeah, Rupert's played a big part in our relationship.
Sounds like
crazy. Because he was like our chauffeur on like our first kind of like date thing. Yeah. But yeah, like she wore them and I saw her on her feet and I was like, damn, like those are nice shoes. And I looked up and I was like, holy shit.
What's the price tag on that right now?
I think they're like $500 to $600.
Would you drop that? If she was like, I want that shoe again, babe. Well, would you drop it? Would you drop it? Well, come on. Would you drop it?
I would.
But.
Oh,
there's a but.
When they came out, I bought 3 pairs for me. Shit. I bought 2 pairs for her.
Was it when you were working at Champs?
No, I wasn't even working for Champs no more.
Oh, shit.
But I made sure to hit up the people I need that work there that I knew weren't going to buy them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then that was a pair that we used last year when we made our announcement. So we had our pairs and then we had the little baby pair. Cute. So that's like my all-time favorite pair.
So that has some meaning to it. That's
sentimental. Yeah.
It's sentimental.
That's amazing.
And then the shoe that I would want, I think the Air Mags, like Back to the Future.
Okay, wait, what's the price tag on that? I don't know shit.
Of the Air Mags?
Yeah.
Fuck, like 72,000
for. Okay, if Jaden's gonna ask you for those,
and that's American.
Jesus. So that's like 10 grand. Okay, no, past 10 grand. It's like 1.4 right now. The exchange rate. Would you drop that kind of money for that pair of shoes?
What if Carter asked you for them?
Fuck no.
Get a job, boy.
You'd ask Carter to buy those shoes for you. Tell him to hustle so he can. I tell Jaden that all the time.
I've always had a plan, like when Legal Hustle is making millions. Like I'm not gonna tell my kids that we're rich.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But if they're just like, Dad, I want these shoes, I would still want them to hustle.
Yeah.
But then I'd probably like, because my dad used to do this for me. Like when I was collecting Pokemon cards, one time I cracked open his toolbox that he had in the house.
Yeah.
And there was like all these stacks of Pokemon cards. Damn. But what he would do is just like, if I did some good, you know, like he'd be like, hey, I saw this at the mall and I thought about you. And like what I see my dad do that with me, like just remembering the feeling, like, yeah, I cracked open his toolbox by accident and I saw all these Pokemon cards. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like,
jackpot.
Like, what do I got to do kind of thing, right? And my dad used to lie to me. He's like, oh, they sold out at the store. They don't have them anymore.
Yeah.
You know, this kind of stuff.
Oh, that's a dope
So
dad too,
I wanted
right
to take that spin and like, you know, with Carter, he doesn't understand, but he has all these sneakers right now.
Yeah.
But even when it comes to toys, like if he's like, oh, I want this, and be like, oh, sorry, bud, like you got to work for this first. But knowing that I have it, you know, like in the garage somewhere that he'll never find it.
Just make him think that he's the one working for it.
Yeah, exactly. Because
that's good.
It still teaches a hustle.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, we really admire your hustle,
Thank
which
you
is
so
why
much.
we wanted you on here. And
Yeah.
we're so honored that you took some time off from your business, all your businesses and your family to come and be
to
here with
come
us.
talk to
So
us.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So that's a wrap. I just want to thank you guys again for tuning into episode 9. We're at 9 now. It's
9.
fucking crazy. It's crazy out there. So as usual, be responsible, wear your mask, wash your hands, and most importantly, love yourself even on the hardest days.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.